I rise today as a principal co-author of this resolution designating March 15, 2025 as Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg Day. As a woman and as a lawyer who practiced law for more than a decade, and as a fierce advocate for gender equity and the elimination of discrimination of all types from American society, I'm proud to recognize Ruth Bader Ginsburg, her accomplishments, and her lasting legacy. Born in Brooklyn, New York in 1933, Justice Ginsburg overcame extremely challenging obstacles to become one of the most influential legal minds of our time. Her journey from a working-class neighborhood to the highest court in the land is a testament to her brilliance, determination, and intelligence, and the power of education. And her story is an inspiration to every woman and to every lawyer and to every warrior for social justice and equal rights. Justice Ginsburg is known for her tireless advocacy for gender equality. Long before her appointment to the Supreme Court, she was the architect of a strategic campaign to challenge laws that treated men and women differently. As co-founder of the ACLU's Women's Rights Project, she argued 6 landmark cases before the Supreme Court in the 1970s, establishing the principle of equal treatment under the law for both sexes. Her approach was both innovative and effective. Recognizing the challenges of convincing male judges, she often represented male plaintiffs to demonstrate how gender discrimination specifically affected men. This strategy helped dismantle gender-based stereotypes and pave the way for our more equitable society. In 1993, Ruth Bader Ginsburg became the second woman and the first Jewish woman to serve on the United States Supreme Court. During her 27-year tenure, she continued to be a strong advocate for equality and justice. Her majority opinion in United States versus Virginia opened the Virginia Military Institute to women and was a crowning achievement in her campaign for gender equality. Her impact extended beyond gender issues. She was also a very strong voice for civil liberties, racial equality, LGBTQ+ rights, and voting rights. Her powerful dissents, foreshadowed by her famous dissent collar, which many of us are wearing on the floor today, include Shelby County v. Holder, a case that essentially gutted the Voting Rights Act, and this inspired a new generation of activists. Justice Ginsburg's legacy involved much more than her legal triumphs. She became a symbol of resilience and perseverance. Despite facing personal setbacks, including 5 bouts of cancer, she rarely missed a day of work. Justice Ginsburg's impact on American society is almost impossible to underestimate. As my colleague just said, the quote, many of us repeat the same quotes because they speak to us, real change, enduring change, happens one step at a time. And it's this understanding and the tenacity to push through all of the incremental steps that leads to big change, which is the same thing that we are all here doing in the state Senate. And that is what made Justice Ginsburg so successful and formidable. She also understood that although she created progress, much more needed to be done. My very favorite quote of hers, which I have on a shirt at home, is, "Women belong in all places where decisions are being made." Today, there are still many places where important decisions are made by very few or any women. In California, we have always been at the forefront of advancing civil rights and justice. And I am sure that Justice Ginsburg would be thrilled to see, if she were alive today, that the California State Senate now has reached gender parity. So for the first time in 175 years, since the California Senate's first legislative session convened in 1849, we have reached gender parity. When she was asked that question of how many should be on the Supreme Court, and she said, when there are 9. Ruth Bader Ginsburg's life and work reminds us of the power of perseverance, the importance of equality, and the influence one person can have on shaping a nation, even when it's in dissent. The quest for gender equity, equal rights, and social justice continues. And we should remember her words, "Whatever you choose to do, leave tracks." That means don't do it just for yourself. You will want to leave the world a little better for your having lived. Please join me in supporting this resolution and reminding all Californians of Justice Ginsburg's profound positive impact and the high ideals for which she stood. Thank you.